everyone. This is Math City Academy, a city of great learning. Today we are going to be having our class on pure mathematics, and it's going to be the lesson 1 on pure mathematics. Ensure to subscribe and like this video. More lessons will be uploaded as classes goes on. Thank you. So in our lesson 1, we are going to be seeing mathematical equations. Mathematical equations. In these mathematical equations, it's going to be divided into 4 cases. In the case 1, we're going to see simultaneous linear equation. We're going to see quadratic equation. We're going to see cubic equation, and we're going to see root symmetric functions. So without wasting much time, we go into simultaneous linear equation. We are going to be seeing the case 1. In the case 1, we are seeing simultaneous linear equation. First of all, we're going to ask ourselves, what are linear equations? Linear equations are those equations which the highest power of the unknown is 1. Always know that a linear equation is an equation of equation of a straight line. But in this case, we are doing simultaneous, meaning that we're going to have a pair of linear equations. That means we are going to be looking for unknowns here. But in this case, we are going to be looking for 2 unknowns, that is x and y. But if it is 3 unknown, we are going to be looking for x, y, and z. So we have defined what a linear equation is. So we go into work example immediately. Most of these things, we have done them in our secondary school. So I take my first example. If we observe what we have on the board, they say we should evaluate for the value of x and y in the equation below. We have this and we have this. If you observe, the unknown is x and the y, and the highest power they are carrying is what? 1. That means this is x raised to power 1, this is y raised to power 1, this is y raised to power 1, this is x raised to power 1. It makes them linear when the highest power of the unknown is 1. That equation is linear. But why is it called simultaneous? Is that we are going to be solving these 2 equations at the same time. That's why we call it simultaneous. They are pair of equations. So for me to solve, we are going to be using substitution and substitution method. We're going to apply substitution method here, and also elimination method, meaning that we are going to be eliminating one unknown so that we can get the other unknown. Then at the end of the day, we substitute the one we have gotten to get the value of the one that we have not yet gotten. So I start solution. First of all, I'm going to arrange this equation. I will have 3x minus 5y minus this 3 goes over equals to 3. Okay, I call this equation 1. Then I have, because this is x, so I'm going to arrange x here. So I can have minus 6x. Remember, it's minus 6x. Then for the y, I have 2y plus 2y is equals to minus 5. Remember, this 3 went up here to become 3, and this 5 went up here to become minus 5. Okay, so I have my equation 1 and my equation 2. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to try to, I have on my unknown, I have x and I have y. I'll try to eliminate 1. I'll try to eliminate 1 so that I can get the value of the one of the unknown. Then I later substitute. Now, if I want to eliminate x, I can choose to eliminate x, I can choose to eliminate y, whichever I like. So in this case, I choose to eliminate x. Now, for me to eliminate x, I must make sure the coefficient of x are the same before I can eliminate them. The coefficients are the same. Even if I want to eliminate y, I'll make sure that their coefficients are the same. Okay. For me to make the coefficient of this x to be the same, I need to do some magic. So, the coefficient of this one is minus 6. The coefficient of this one is 3. So this one is bigger than this. So I can bring up this one to look like this. I'll ask myself, what will I multiply by 3 to give me minus 6? So I can say, okay, 3 times minus 2 will give me minus 6, isn't it? Yes, 3 times minus 2 will give me minus 6. So if I multiply equation 1 by minus 2, you will see that minus 2 times 3 will give me minus 6, making the coefficient of this x to be the same. Okay? And that is what I want to achieve. So in that same hand, the equation 2 I will multiply it by 1 so that this coefficient of this x will not change. I'll multiply by just 1. So that's what I'm going to say. Multiply this by -2. Multiply this by what? Just 1. So that will bring us equation 3 and 4. So we move. -2 times 3 will give me -6x. Then -2 times -5. -2 times -5. Minus cancels minus. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 10y equals to -2 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Then give me -6. This gives me equation 3. Okay, at this place, 1. This will give me -6x. 1 times this plus 2y. Then 1 times 5 minus 5. And this gives me equation 4. So I've got equation 1, equation 2. I developed equation 3 and equation 4. Now, looking at equation 3 and 4 now, I can eliminate x because the coefficient of x are now having the same, the coefficient of x are now the same. So another thing I'm going to be very careful about is that I will ask myself, just like we have been all taught in secondary school, they will say equation 4 minus equation 3. It's not always like that. You have to check. What you have to check, is it plus or minus that will eliminate x? So let me see. If I say equation 4 minus equation 3, will it take away x? Let's check. -6 minus -6. That is equation 4 minus equation 3. -6 minus -6. This will give me -6 plus 6. You know, they cancel out. But if I say -6 plus -6, which will give me -6 minus 6, which is -12. You see that this one produces 0. The minus produces 0, while the addition produces -12. So I go with the minus. So I will say equation 4 minus equation 3. So I have equation 4 minus equation 3. So when I do equation 4 minus equation 3, I want to clean this up part. I do equation 4 minus equation 3. So I'm going to be having this minus this becomes 0. So I'm going to be having 2 minus 10. That will give me -8y because this one is gone. Then 2 minus 10. Then -5 minus -6. -5 minus -6 -5 plus 6. That will give me -5. Minus times minus is plus. -5, that will give me 1. Hope you understand that. So -5 minus -6 will give us -5 plus 6. You are owing 5, you have 6. If you pay, you have your 1. So it's equals to 1. So that my y becomes -1/8. So I've gotten the value of y. This one will be kept somewhere while I go to get the value of x. Now, for me to get this value of y you're seeing here, I needed to do elimination method. I eliminated one unknown and got the other one. Now, for me to get the value of x, which I eliminated now, I'm going to use substitution method now. I will substitute the value of y into any of the equation. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4 to get the value of y. So let me use equation 1 using equation 1. So I have 3x minus 5y is equals to 3. But I already know that y is -1/8. So I have 3x minus 5 into -1/8 is equals to 3. So at this point, I'm going to be having, you have to be very systematical, 3x minus, this is -5 times, this will give me 5 plus 5/8. Because -5 times -1 will give us plus 5/8 equals to 3. Remember that we are going to be having 3x. Okay, some people, if you are finding difficult here, we have that -5 times -1/8. This is like this. This times this will give me 5. -5 times 1 will give me 5 plus 5/8 times 1, 8. and that is what we have here. So at this point, 3x is equals to, this goes over here, we have 3. Let me put it 3 over 1 minus 5 over 8. Okay, solving out that elementary mathematics, 3 over 1. No, but I want us to know how to use our calculator very well because of the level we are now. I want us to know how to use. I want to use calculator. I'll put this in my calculator. I have 3 over 1 minus 5 over 8. That will give me 19 over 8. I have 3x is equals to 19 over 8. So my x becomes, I divide both sides by 3, 19 over 8 divided by 3 over 1. Okay, I go again, 19 over 8 divided by 3. That will give me, my x becomes 19 over 24. So I've got my x to become 19 over 24. So the values of x and y are, y is minus 1 over 8 and then x is 19 over 24. I believe that is very well understood. So we go to another example, which is, looking at the board, we have another example facing us. Find the values of x and y in the equation below. So looking at that equation, you see that the highest power of the variables here are 1. So these are linear equations. So for me to be able to solve them, I must use simultaneous. I must solve it simultaneously. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to rearrange the equation because they are not arranged. I pick this one. I have 4x minus 3 equals to 3x plus y. What I'm going to do, I bring everything here. I have 4x minus 3 minus 3x minus y equals to 0. So collect like terms. 4x minus 3x, that will give me x. Minus y, minus 3 goes over to the other side, becomes 3. I call this equation 1. I believe you understand that. Then we pick on this. We have 3x plus y equals to 2y plus 5x minus 12. So what I'm going to do is also bring everything to the left hand side. We have minus 2y minus 5x plus 12 equals to 0. Collecting like terms, 3x minus 5. 3 minus 5 will give me minus 2x. Minus 2x. The another one is then plus y. Then this is a constant. Remember this, and this is gone. Okay, we have 2 of the y. Y plus y minus 2y. You have 1 y, you are going, so I'm going to have minus y. Minus y. Okay, 1 minus 2 minus y. Then I have equals to minus 12. I call this equation 2. Please observe your works very well and be sure that they give you what you want. This equation is correct. 4x minus 3x will give us x. This 3. Then minus y. This 3 moves over here to become 3. 3x, when we bring everything here, 3x minus 5x will give us minus 2x. 1 minus 2 will give us minus 1. Then 12 move over to, so I have equation 1 and equation 2. So I'm going to write them out. X minus y equals to 3. This is equation 1. And then minus 2x minus y equals to minus 12. This becomes equation 2. So the next thing I'm going to do is to eliminate one unknown. If I eliminate one unknown, I can now be able to find the one that is remaining. If you watch, the coefficient of x are not the same, but the coefficient of y are the same. So I can decide to eliminate y first because it came in. Okay, having established the fact that the y have the same coefficient, so I'm going to eliminate y. So what I'm going to do now is equation 2 minus equation 1. I will test if that will work. If I say equation 2 minus equation 1, that means I'm going to say minus y minus minus y minus y minus y. That will give me minus y plus y, which is equals to 0. It will work. So I'm going to be having equation 2 minus equation 1. I'm going to be having minus 2x minus 1 minus 2 minus 1 minus 2 minus 1. That will give me minus 3x. Minus y minus y is 0. It's gone. 12 minus 12 minus 3. Minus 12 minus 3. Minus 12 minus 3 will give us minus 15. So I'm having minus 15 here. So x becomes minus 15 over minus 3. That will give me 15 over 3. I've got the value of x. So we keep that, like we used to say, we keep that somewhere. So I have that x is equals to 15 over 3. That is my value for x. For me to get the value of y, I'm going to substitute the value of x into any equation I like. I take my equation 1. I take equation 1, so I make do with this. I take equation 1. In my equation 1, I have that x minus y is equals to 3. So I already know that x is 15 over 3, so I have 15 over 3 minus y is equals to 3. So that if I throw the y here, I have 15 over 3 minus 3 is equals to y. So I can use my calculator as usual to press 15 over 3 minus 3. So I have my 15 over 3 minus 3. That will give me 2. Therefore, y is equals to 2. So I have the value of my y to be equals to what here now? 2. So according to the question, they asked us to find the value of x and y, of which we have obtained that x is 15 over 3 and y is equals to 2. That brings us to the end of the second example. We are going to be going to the last example. In this example, they asked us to find the ratio of x to y if we have this equation. We are going to find the value of x and y, then find the ratio of x is y. Now note, the question is x is to y, not y is to x. And you know that x is to y is like x over y. Hope you know that. Let's start. What I'm going to do first is to try to simplify. So I cross multiply. I have 2x minus y is equals to 6 into 2y minus x. I have 2x minus y is equals to 2 times 6 is 12. 12y. I have minus 6x. So I can decide to bring all together. I have 2x minus y minus 12y plus 6x equals to 0. Okay, collect like times 2x plus 6x will give me 8x. Then minus y minus 12, that is minus 1 minus 12 will give me minus 13y equals to 0. So since the question is x over y, that means I need to push y here. So I can have that 8x is equals to 13y. So for me to get x over y, at this point, divide both sides by y. I'm going to be having 8x over y equals to 13y over y. This will produce 8x over y equals to 13. So I'm beginning to see that x over y here. Now for me to remove this 8 here, what am I going to do? I'll multiply both sides by 1 over 8. That we're able to cancel this 8. So I'll have 8x over y times 1 over 8 equals to 13 over 1 times 1 over 8. So I'm going to be having this cancels this. I have x over y equals to 13 over 8. So the x ratio y is equals to 13 over 8, and that becomes my final answer. So the question says to find the ratio of x is to y, and the ratio of x is to y, which I've gotten, is 13 over 8. If the question was to be y is to x, so when I get here, I will divide both sides by x, so that I'll be having y over what? X. But because it was x is to y, so I divided both sides by y, so I will have my x over y, and have the one I don't want to operate eliminated. I believe this is very well understood. So we go to the last example for this, our case 1, and it's going to be a word problem. If we look closely at the board, we will see a word problem given to us that can also be solved using simultaneous equation. It can be solved simultaneously per se. It says 7 years ago, the age of a father was 3 times that of the son. But in 6 years' time, the age of the son will be half that of the father. Find the present age of the father and the son. So we're going to solve this simultaneously, but we're going to be able to represent them using linear equations. So let the age of the son be y. Let son age equals to y. Okay, let father age equals to x. So if I've taken the age of the son to be y and the age of the father to be x, so I will now start putting up simultaneous equation about that. Now, taking that of the son, now the question says 7 years ago, meaning we are going to be using minus. So I want to have here, I want to have father, I want to have son here. 7 years ago, the age of the father was 3 times that of the son. So I will have father is x. X minus 7 years ago is equals to 3 times y minus 7. I don't know if you understand what we have just done now. 7 years ago, the age of the father will minus 7. That is because it's going to be minus. Then, at this junction, I have 8 minus 7 equals to 3y minus 21. I want to simplify. I have x minus 3y equals to minus 21 plus 7. I have x minus 3y will give me minus 21 plus 7. Minus 21 plus 7, that will give me minus 14. Okay, I call this equation 1. So I go for equation 2. In equation 2, it now says, but in 6 years' time, addition, ahead, ago, minus, in 6 years' time, addition. So we say in 6 years' time, the age of the son, okay, I think, let me use this part of the board. In 6 years' time, the age of the son will be half that of the father. So if father is x plus 6 will be equals to, in 6 years' time, whatever the father's age is, if you add this 6, that's what it will give you, then it will be half. In 6 years' time, the age of the son will be half that of the father. Half of the father. Okay, that of the son will now be y plus 6 is equals to half of x plus 6. This age of the son will be half, equals to half of that of the father. The age of the son will be half of that of the father. So I have y plus 6 will be equals to x over 2 plus 6 over 2. Y plus 6 becomes x over 2. Remember, this is son, this is father, plus 3. Okay? So let's take y minus x over 2 equals to 3 minus 6. Remember, I pulled this guy here and I pulled this guy here. So I'm going to be having y minus x over 2 equals to minus 3. So what I'm going to be having here, I can multiply both sides by 2. So I'm going to be having 2y minus x is equals to minus 6. 2y minus x over 2 times 2 will give me minus x, then minus 2 times 3 will give me minus 6. This becomes my equation 2. So I've got my equation 1 and I've got my equation 2. So I will try to solve for the value of x and y simultaneously. So I write them down. I have my x minus 3y is equals to minus 14. I have 2, okay, minus x plus 2y is equals to minus 6. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. Okay, we move from there. That is equation 1 and the other one is equation. Haven't seen that. Okay, the coefficient of x are not the same. This one is 1. This one is minus 1. The coefficient of y are not the same. So for me to eliminate, I must make one of the unknown, their coefficient to be the same. I can do it to x. This is minus 1, this is 1. If I multiply equation 1 by minus 1 and multiply equation 2 by plus 1, I will achieve that. So I'm multiplying this one times minus 1 and I'm multiplying this one times just ordinary 1. So minus 1 times x will give me minus x. Minus 1 times minus 3 will give me plus 3y. Minus 1 times minus 14 will give me plus 14. This one, 1 times this will still give me minus x. 1 times this will still give me plus 2y. 1 times this will still give me minus 6. It doesn't change. Okay? So I've got equation 3 and equation 4. Okay, I haven't gotten this. I'm now going to do equation. I'll check. It will be equation 4 minus equation 3. 4 minus 3. So that will give me minus x minus x, which will give me minus x plus x, which is 0. So that will go. So 2 minus 3 will give me minus y. 2 minus 3 will give me minus y equals to minus 6 minus 14. Minus 6 minus 14. That will give me minus 20. That will give me minus 20. So I have minus 20. So that y becomes 20 because minus cancels minus. My value of y becomes 20. Okay, in that case, I can now find the value of x. Okay, I'll put 20 into any of the equation I like. Remember, I like using equation 1. So I go with equation 1. I have x minus 3y is equals to minus 14. I already have y to be 20, so I have x minus 3 into 20 equals to minus 14. So I have x to be equals to 3 times 20 times 3 is 60. 3 times 2 is 6. So moving it over to have minus 14 plus 60. X becomes minus 14 plus 60 should give me 46. Let's see that. 60 minus 14. Okay, if you do 46 plus 14, this is 10, 4, 5, that is 60, so it's correct. So therefore, the value of x here is 46, while the value of y here is 20. Okay, remember that we said that let the son's age be y and let the father's age be x. So this is father now. This is the current age of the father, and this is the current age of the son. This is the last example we will be taking on the case 1, which is simultaneous linear equation.